In this video, we're going to add the player to the radar. The player's car can only move to one of these cells, and you can see that these bushes here, these pink bushes here, they represent one cell. So the top leftmost of the playing field is actually 4-4. It's 4 cells in, 4 cells down. So that's the topmost there. And the racing car fits inside there. So it's a 24 by 24 pixel block. You can see that there's 3 blocks by 3 blocks there. It's actually 24 by 24 pixels, but the car fits inside there. So our origin for the radar is 4-4, and we can easily read that because we actually contain the grid position inside our position field here, inside the player's locomotion. So it's actually going to be easy to get the information out that we need. The radar view is 64 pixels by 112 pixels, so 64 pixels across, 112 pixels down. That weighs in at 32 by 56 radar pixels across, because each radar pixel is 2 pixels. Each radar pixel is 1 block. So that radar block is representing 1 3 by 3 1 24 pixel by 24 pixel block in the map. So in other words, every pixel in here would represent a bush inside the tiled map. So with all that explanation out of the way, let's get started coding up the solution. So this is the sidebar again, and it's, it works. It's got the lives there, and it's got what round you're on, and 1 up, and then there, and then you get the fuel is here as well. Goes down the red. Done that in the first episode. So going back to this though, we need to figure out how we are going to add the player to this mix. So I'm going to create an empty object. Actually, sorry, first of all I'm going to drag in. I'm going to go to art, and there's a little radar blob here I've added, so I'm going to drag that there. And radar blob is just going to be just a standard radar blob. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an empty. Actually, do I need to create an empty one here? Actually, no, I don't think I need to. Let me call this one player radar blob. And then player radar blob sprite sort point. That's fine. That is going to be eventually going to be a child of the radar background, but we need to add a couple of things to it first. So it actually flashes. So I'm going to create a script which is going to be in the player. Actually, let's create another one here called radar, another folder called radar, and we'll put all our radar associated things in here. So this one is going to be called what are we going to call this one? I guess we could just call it player, well, blob. Radar blob, and radar blob is going to have a color, and then actually let's make that colors, and we're going to make that private there. So we're going to have a frame that's going to, well, it's not really a frame, but it's going to allow it to flash. And don't want any of those. Actually, I do want to have the void update. And then we want private float, and then this is going to be flash weight. And then let's make that 1/4 of a second. And then actually let's do private void. Oh, sorry, number room. Oh. Here we'll return null, and then let's do while true. Sprite renderer. renderer dot color equals colors frame plus, and then we want to mod that by colors.length. Return new wait 4 seconds. Wait, and that is all we need to do for that. And that's going to just flash away. And then for this one here, there's a player's radar blob. We're going to add in radar blob and make these public, don't we? So we need to be serialize field. Serialize field. Okay. That'll expose it to the editor, and we want 2 colors in here. And the first color is going to be 86, 86, 86. And then the second color is black. But we need to make sure it's not transparent. So the player blob is going to be a prefab. Let's add this to our, actually we don't need to add it to there, just drag it in. Drag it into there, and then just for a quick test I'm going to do radar, add that as a child to radar background. I'll put it at 0, 0. And I just want to see, this has got to be ahead of everything. So this is inside the UI layer. And then the sorting layer, we're going to make that to be 5. So maybe, actually, what is the radar background sorting layer? Let's see where that is when we play this. Well, I don't see it. I don't know about you, but I don't see it. A lot of flickering there. Okay, let's see where. Okay, well, it's definitely there. Bonus points for you, those of you shouting at the screen. My enumerator start. Okay. Still doesn't explain why it's not visible there. Yeah, Google is your friend. Okay, let's go back to here. Well, it's flashing, which is good, but I still don't see it in the scene. Just because of the way that it's zoomed in? Is that the reason, maybe? Let's make it still not there. What is the radar background? Radar background is 5, so any child object should be shown on top of that, and it's at position 0, 0. Make it 0. Yeah, see, it's not even showing up there. Yeah, see, it's showing there. Oh, it's tiny, that's why. Oh dear. Right, okay. Let me go back to here. When I imported it, I must have not set it up properly. So if I go to radar blob, and then yeah, it's 100. I'll set that to 1, apply, boom, there we go. Okay. Right, so radar blob should be one ahead of it. And then we run it. Should get the radar blob flashing away there, and we do. And inside, it's inside the game. Okay, and so it's 0, 0. So if we move it to 1, that should move it 1 pixel over. Okay, and it's doing that, and then 2 should move it to there. All right. So because we know that the position here is it's 64 blocks by 112 pixels. Sorry, 64 by 112 pixels. That means we've got 32 by 56. So each one of these is basically that 24 by 24 pixel block that we explained earlier in the video. So we should be able to update our radar. So I'm gonna delete this just now from here, and then go back to our sidebar, and then add our sidebar, and then we've got I made all these public, and I should have made them private. I'm not going to change that now for this one, but we should make these private from. We're going to make them private from now on. So private game object radar serialized field. So that's our radar there, and then we have our private radar blob player radar prefab nice field. Okay, so I'm going to set these just now. So when that refreshes, drag that into there, and then inside the prefab I've got the sidebar here, and I've got the player radar. I'm going to drag that into here. Okay. Really, I can probably rename that as just radar blob, because it's just going to be a radar blob, not going to be anything else. So when I go back to the sidecar there, you see that it's just radar blob, which is a radar blob. Okay, and now when we initialize this, when we create this object, I'm going to instantiate it and then set it to be where the player is. So that's going to be handled inside enumerator start while true. And then we need a player reference in here. So I need to set the player reference here. I want to set the player reference here. This is the current player here. Oh, it's the current player here. I'm going to be able to set the player reference. So, right, do I need to set anything else in here? No, I don't. Okay, I'm going to load the new scene now, the tiled map scene, and then I'm going to add our prefab. So our prefab sidebar is this one here. So I'm going to drag and drop that in there. Don't know where that went to. Scene. Our sidebar there. Where did that go? The main. Oh, it's way down here. Ooh, okay. So I need to move it to that position there. So property, copy position, and then I'm going to paste that position. Paste. Boom. So that should be 10. So if I make that positive, that should end up inside the game. And there we go. Okay. So our sidebar is going to be at up a wee bit there. There. And then it's going to be all the way along here. So 4, so 5. Okay, so that is sitting there quite nicely at 16.9. So now our game. Oh, because it's got to be fixed. I reckon what we can do is we can move this back to 0, 0, 0. Let me add another camera. Can I do this? I can't remember how I can do this again. Let me see if this works. Okay, so I want to add a camera, and I'm going to call this UI camera. And the main camera is going to see UI camera is going to see. Oh yeah, I need to move the grid. Oh, not the grid. So far. Going to see clear flags. Only. Let's see, depth only. Okay, depth only. And then we want to see everything except for nothing. But I want to see the UI. Then where's my? That's our. Oh yeah, it's got to be the same projection as this. So the copy. Paste. Alright, I don't want solid color. Depth only. UI. Graphic. Size on 12. Okay. Okay, and the sidebar there. Okay, and then the UI camera. That is not right. 0. And sidebar. Further into screen. World, I should say. And there we go. There's our UI camera there. So our position for the sidebar is going to be way over here. Right, let me run the game. That works. Okay, so we've paused the game. Don't bother pausing the game. Right, let's get the position right, and then we can move the camera along. So we got 50. So that's gonna. I think it's gonna be half the screen. Yeah. 135. 136. Okay. And then the Y gonna be 112. Sounds about right. Okay. And then the Z is gonna be 10. So I'm gonna copy the position there, copy, and then here I'm gonna paste that position. Okay. So now that we've done that, that means that our UI is going to stay where it's supposed to be, and no matter how much we resize and all that stuff, it's still going to be stuck over on the other side there, and we still have access to everything else that we need to do. We have some artifacts there, but I think it's just to do with the scaling. Yeah, it's just the scaling. And yeah, I think that's working out nicely. Okay. What we might end up doing is putting a little bit more more greenery around here, because we're it's going. It's allowing us to go over too far over there. So I might fill with this this here, but we'll figure that out later episode. For now, we just want to get the radar working. Okay, so now that we have our radar there, so we have our sidebar. We just need a reference to the player at this point. So our sidebar's lost our reference there. So we need our radar there, and we need our blob. Player radar prefab. Okay, that is our blob there. And now we need a reference to back up to here. And then we do private transform player position field and position. Actually, we need a bit more from the player, don't we? Because we need to, yeah, it's the locomotion script. So the locomotion script has got the actual position that we want. So see how we have this position here, and then we use that to calculate the sprite to world position. This crazy math that I did to get to this point, and then the transform position here and so on. So what I need to do is I need to have access to that. So I want to have public vector to grid and expose that. So I really want locomotion exposed and not the transform. So I want locomotion. So that's the player position there. So now what I can do is I can say player.grid position, and I can change the blob. So I can say where we go, private radar blob player player dot, let's call it dot, say player dot equals instantiate player radar prefab, and then I can say player dot position transform dot position equals new vector 3, and it's just gonna be the player position dot transform dot position. Oh no, that's not that. Dot grid position. There you go, grid position. New vector 3. Okay, so that is, I think we'll have to like do some multiplication here, but it's okay. Let's see what we got. That didn't work. Where is, if I pause that just now and I go to, oh, there's a radar blob clone. Instantiate, and then I want to say this is the radar, and then it is quaternion dot indenti. No, that. Oh yeah, dot transform. Because I want to specify the parent that it's parented to. Okay. Nope, still nothing. Why? Let's we go to sidebar, radar. We got a radar blob, and it says 0, 0. I've done the same mistake again. No, I haven't. Sidebar. Start. Okay. Run this. Starts this. Runs into here. Clear dot. Well, that is that. Dot transform position. Close that. Hold up there. Wait, what? Oh, right. Oh, something happened. Oh, we can get rid of the two audio listeners. Let's get rid of that first of all. So we don't need an audio listener here. That moved. Move component there. And then the next thing is, why is that only hitting that once? Like it hits it once and then doesn't hit it again. So okay, so it's hitting that. Oh, hold up. Oh, because I've not set that. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it wasn't wanted that. That's weird. Okay. Let's drag that in there. So now we've got a reference in there. So now, when we run this, well, it's not crashing, or it's not giving us an error, but we're not seeing that in there. So if I go to radar blob, it is. Well, I don't need it to be -10. I need it to be 0. That's an issue. And then the order in layer is 0, which is wrong as well. So a couple of things we need to fix. So if I go to our prefab, where's our prefab sidebar radar blob, and make this 10 because it's got to be at the forefront of everything. And then the other thing is got to make this sidebar, and then it can't be that. It's going to be new vector 3. Oh, that's not going to let me do that, is it? Okay. Well, not the most ideal of things, but you know, it works. I don't want it to be minus. I don't want it to be the. I don't want to take the Z into consideration, and I just want to blat that out. So let's see where we get now. Well, that's not so good. So it's order and layer. Is that okay? And it's way over here. Is that right? Don't see it. Oh, radar blob is not in the UI layer. That's why. Aha. Right, let's make that in the UI layer. So bring that down there, make that UI. And then the other thing is it's way over on the negative side there, which is kind of weird. So I think you need to do some more adding and subtracting. So the other thing as well is the X and Y position is not the same. So if we go to here, remember this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So that's actually 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, 4 in there. So we actually need to subtract 4, 4 from. That's going to be -4. And that is going to be -4 as well. Okay. Where does everything? Bob 10 UI. Okay. It's running this. No, where's radar? Okay, so it's still a way over here. It is visible. It is visible. Oh, that's gonna appear there. So if we go up to the top, you should be able to see. You'll be able to see the radar view, like size up the top here. If we keep going up here, left. We want to stop that. Do that. Just it's an easy way to do it. You just mask it out with the camera there. So we can mask that out with the camera just by going to main camera, and then it says everything. Well, we don't want to. Now when we run it and we go green, top here, there we go, and it's gone. Right, that was easy. Right, that's the one fix. And then the other thing is still need to figure out why the X and Y value is out of whack. So the go to radar blob, it's at -120, -5. And the current player, no, not the current player, we go to debug, position, yeah, there you go, is X is 19, Y is -49. What? Let me just breakpoint Unity and let's see where we. Okay, so the grid position is X. Okay. And the position is 15 minus 53. Okay, that's right. So the question is, why is radar block -121? Local position. Local. And then let's do player dot. Okay. Local position. Go. Because we want the position relative to where the radar. There we go. Okay. So we're still not quite right. Yeah, because that's got to be across that way. It's got to be ×2 because that's where we are in the actual. Because it's every pixel, every radar pixel is 2 pixels. Okay, now back to here. We should be a little bit further over to the right hand side. No, we're off the screen on the right hand side now. Oh no, we're not. No, we're there. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, I think we're too far down from the top. That's what the problem is. How many are we down from the top? Oh, -4. It's gonna be 0, isn't it? Maybe we don't. Maybe we compensated for that. We just take out the -4 here. Hear that? We use code. Right. This could be us. This could be it finished. No. 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 I think we actually have to add 4. I think that's what the problem is. So let's go right up to the top. Yeah, we're too far in from here, so we need to subtract 4 from there and add 4 from the top. Yep. So we need to subtract 4 from there. That's -4 there. Then we add 4 here. And that should be it finished. That should be the radar done. Keep going. There we go. We're at the top. And then that should be us in the corner. That's us in the corner. Perfect. And yeah. Oh, I can't play it at all. And bottom should match up as well. And it does. There we go. And that's perfect. Okay. And then the other end should match up as well. Right, anyway. And we're right in the corner. Okay. So we're clipping off on the edge there, but that's fine. That's just a minor fix here. So we are, let me get the debug off. That should be 135. There we go. And that should end here. There we go, right in the edge there. Perfect. All right, that's it. That's the radar. We're done. Well, I mean, we're not done. Tons left to go in this one, but we now have the player, and we have the player in the radar, which is, you know, part of the game. So the next step I'm going to do is, in the next video, will be flags. We need to get flags into the game because that will allow us to add up the score and to end the round. And then after we've done the flags, the next thing to do is the enemies. So that's the next video then is flags.